For centuries, stories of vampires were considered nothing more than myths, tales passed down to frighten children, or legends born from fear and ignorance. But when we return to ancient documents and to official records written by governments and churches, we discover that the story was not always fiction. In Eastern Europe, especially in regions such as Romania, Serbia, and Bulgaria, people lived in genuine terror between the 14th and 18th centuries. The fear was not only of death, but of something worse, that the dead might return. Villages began waking up to unexplained deaths, healthy people dying suddenly without visible illness. With each death, suspicion fell on someone who had already passed away. Someone said to be seen at night, appearing in dreams, or heard walking near homes. In 1725, the Austrian Empire documented the case of a man named Peter Plagojevich. Days after his death, 9 villagers died. Before dying, they swore they had seen him standing beside their beds at night. Authorities decided to open his grave. What they found shocked everyone. The body had not decomposed. The skin appeared intact, and blood was visible around the mouth. This is not folklore. It is an official government report preserved in state archives. In the years that followed, similar cases appeared again and again. The same descriptions, the same rituals, and the same conclusion. Graves were opened, stakes were driven into bodies, and heads were severed. Today, science offers explanations. After death, bodies can swell. Blood may exit the mouth due to internal decomposition. Fingernails appear longer as the skin retracts. But at that time, there was no science. There was only fear and death, and people desperate for answers. Some modern researchers have linked vampire legends to a rare disease called porphyria, a condition that causes extreme sensitivity to sunlight, pale skin, and behavioral changes. Yet this explanation does not account for every case, nor does it explain why similar stories appeared in different regions, with the same disturbing details. As the 19th century arrived, talk of vampires slowly faded. Science advanced, fear retreated, and the rituals stopped. But did the phenomenon truly disappear? Or did it simply change its form? Even today, strange reports surface. People with no clear records, living in isolation, rarely seen during the day, leaving behind no trace. There is no definitive proof, and no definitive denial. Perhaps vampires were nothing more than a massive misunderstanding. Or perhaps they were something else entirely. Something humanity was never ready to face. History does not lie. But sometimes, it does not tell the whole truth. So what do you believe? Was it only a legend? Or does the darkness still hide more than we imagine? But the story doesn't end here. By the late 19th century, researchers began to notice something strange. Whenever vampire stories disappeared from villages, similar stories started appearing inside cities. Graves were no longer opened. Bodies were no longer burned. But the reports had only changed in form, not in meaning. Police records in France and England spoke of individuals who lived for unusually long periods, without any clear birth records. Names that appeared suddenly, and then vanished. In 1897, the novel Dracula was published. People believed it was pure fiction. But what's disturbing is that the author, Bram Stoker, relied on real documents, medical testimonies, and records from church trials. The details were not invented out of thin air. As the 20th century began, fear itself changed. People were no longer afraid of the dead returning, but of something else. Blood. Medical reports started to surface about individuals who drank blood due to a compulsive psychological need. They were not insane, yet they felt no sense of being alive without it. In the 1940s, intelligence agencies began using the term vampiric behavior asterisk to describe individuals who lived in the shadows, left no trace, and fed on others, not always literally. Then we arrive at the modern era. The internet reopened the file. Secret forums, closed groups, people who call themselves real vampires. Some claim they need blood to survive. Others say it's about energy, not literal blood. Science rejects it. Logic mocks it. But the phenomenon exists. And the real question is not, are vampires real? But rather, why did the same story appear across different cultures, in different eras, with nearly identical details, before there was any connection between them? Why is the fear always the same? The night, the blood, immortality. Maybe vampires were never monsters. Maybe they were humans, with something missing. Or maybe history hid more than it revealed. Because some questions, when we dig deep enough, we realize the most frightening answer is not no, but maybe.